Hello and welcome to another episode of the Flashback Cartoon Hour. I'm your loving bald host with the most from coast to coast, Nick, man I'm pretty, Lascola, and here to do the monkey with me,
Tony.
And today we are covering the original Cartoon Network series, Johnny Bravo, and a special thanks because you, the fans, actually voted for this episode, and so now we get to do it, and we've been really excited, and it was a great show. So thank you all. Thanks to all the new followers on Facebook, and let's keep on rolling. So Johnny Bravo.
1, 2, 3, yeah! Baby. Sassy. Dudley. Oh. Check the packs. Man, I'm pretty. Do the monkey with me. Hey there, baby. Yeah, whatever.
An American animated comedy series which ran on Cartoon Network from July 14th, 1997 to August 27th, 2004 for a total of 4 seasons, 65 episodes, 179 segment/shorts, and 2 specials. Each episode ran for about 23 minutes long. The series was created by Filipino-born American animator, screenwriter, storyboard artist, and director and producer Van Partible.
The first 3 seasons were produced by Hanna-Barbera Cartoons, which, as you know, is a heavyweight in the animation industry, while the 4th season was produced by the newly created Cartoon Network Studios. Partible originally pitched the series to Hanna-Barbera's animation showcase series What a Cartoon, based on his senior thesis project he produced while attending the Loyola Marymount University. A pilot short aired on Cartoon Network in 1995, for those who are yearly challenged. The series was renewed for a 2nd season in 1999, during which Partible left and the show was retooled under the direction of Kirk Tinglebald.
What a name.
Sorry, Tingbald. Ting bunghole. In 2003, for the series' 4th season, Partible returned and restored the show to its original format and style. What a Cartoon also is credited for launching points of other great Cartoon Network series, such as The Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Cow and Chicken, I Am a Weasel. I Am Weasel. Whatever happened to ... Robot Jones, Codename Kids Next Door, and the grim and evil series of adventures of Billy and Mandy.
The show's creative team went on to create many successful television series throughout the 90s and 2000s, which including writer Seth MacFarlane, creator of the animated series Family Guy and American Dad. Shortly after the series' 1st season was completed, writer/director Butch Hartman left to work on Nickelodeon's Oh Yeah cartoons, from which those shorts spun off his own success, The Fairly Odd Parents. He would also gain massive success with other hit series such as Danny Phantom and Tough Puppy. Steve Marmel, writer for Johnny Bravo, has been a producer and writer for The Fairly Odd Parents since its premiere in 2001, and is also the creator of the live-action sitcom Disney series Sunny with a Chance, starring Demi Lovato. In addition to Johnny Bravo, director John McIntyre directed episodes of several other cartoons and more recently served as supervising director on Cartoon Network's original series, The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack.
By the way, folks, I didn't write this description. The series centers on Johnny Bravo, a sunglasses-wearing, muscular, conceited narcissist and dim-witted, self-proclaimed womanizing person with a pompadour and an Elvis, which is a hairstyle.
It's pronounced pompadour.
The amount of research that went into making this episode is highly intricate. In fact, I heard that.
Hoo ha hoo.
I heard that somebody pulled an all-nighter to correct me on that.
They shall go nameless.
Andrew.
Oh, hail the Overlord.
Hail the Overlord.
Now, quick, before he zaps us.
And an Elvis Presley-esque voice, apparently of Italian heritage, who lives in Aron City, which, by the way, is Elvis Presley's middle name. Episodes typically revolve around him trying to get a woman to go on a date with him, though his advances are usually rejected and result in the woman in question harming him in a comedic way due to his boorish manner. Johnny's companions are Bunny Mama Bravo, his lively, caring, extroverted, equally dim-witted mother, who also wears sunglasses like him. Little Susie, a talkative and intelligent young girl from the neighborhood who likes to agitate Johnny, although he rarely remembers her name. It's bad enough that I can't read.
I'm glad you got caught with this one instead of me. Carl Krisniswicks.
Kryniswicks. I think it's Kryniswicks.
We're gonna go with that.
A Greek who idolizes Johnny.
A geek.
Now listen, mister, I ain't got no time for you to be talking Greek.
Shit. A geek who idolizes Johnny despite being bullied and bossed around by him. And Pops, the unscrupulous owner... Unscrupulous? Really? I feel like I'm watching a Rocky V sequel right now.
That means you love it.
The unscrupulous owner of the local diner who provides advice to Johnny, which, by the way, an unscrupulous person wouldn't do, along with food made from atypical ingredients. Because I wonder what isn't typical if you're cooking food.
You gotta watch the series and find out.
Why? Did they work at Boston Market or something?
Been there, done that. People's in the food.
Much of the series' humor is derived from celebrity guest star appearances and references to pop culture. For example, an episode in Season 1 is based around homages, or gives homages to The Twilight Zone. The series has had numerous guest stars, including Adam West, Shaquille O'Neal, Seth Green, and Donny Osmond. I was really excited for Shaquille O'Neal, to be honest. But everybody else, I don't really give a fuck about. It's Shaq time! Fucking Shaq food.
Done, nuts.
Well, since we are on the topic of Shaq, really quickly, he had a game that came out in the 90s called Shaq Fu. And, there's apparently one person out there that hates it so much, they have a website dedicated to destroying every physical copy of Shaq Fu. Look it up. It's real.
They came out with a new Shaq Fu recently. A couple of years ago, I think it was. Maybe like 2.5 years, something like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, check it out. Brand new Shaq Fu.
I hope I don't have an urge to break it and send it to that guy who likes to destroy Shaq Fu.
You did this.
In the first season, creator Van Partible intended for the show's middle segment to be a form of Johnny Bravo Meets, a parody of the new Scooby-Doo movies, which would feature appearances from popular 1970s icons. But guest stars were used informally after the second season began. Many Hanna-Barbera characters had cameo appearances in the series, including the cast of Scooby-Doo, Speed Buggy, Jabberjaw, Fred Flintstone, Yogi Bear, the Blue Falcon, Black Widow, and Huckleberry Hound.
That was something that actually me and you had just talked about that I really enjoy about like Cartoon Network's cartoons and original cartoons in particular is that like I said to you, they kept that window.
Oh, yeah. So we were just talking about this,
that
yes.
like window that like branch out to the original like Hanna-Barbera shows. Like when you watch Johnny Bravo, when you watch Foster's Homes for Imaginary Friends, or The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, like Yogi Bear or Huckleberry Finn. Like Huckleberry Hound will just appear out of nowhere. You know what I mean? My favorite is when Billy and Mandy, when they unfreeze Fred Flintstone like Encino Man, but he goes fucking ballistic. All right, sorry. The second segment of Season 1, Episode 2, titled Bravo Doobie Doo, marks the last time Casey Kasem would voice Shaggy Rogers until the TV series What's New Scooby-Doo. The last time Heather North would provide the voice of Daphne Blake until the film Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire. This is the first time that B.J. Ward voices Velma Dinkley. I'm pretty sure she voices her in the like 90s movies, Zombie Island, Witch's Curse, like all those. And this is the first time that Frank Welker has voiced Fred Jones since the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries. I guess now we can go into the voice cast a little bit. I'll let Tony go ahead and start off with Mama.
Yes. Bunny Mama Bravo, voiced by Brenda Vaccaro. She has also gained critical acclaim for her roles in such movies as Shirley in the 1969 movie Midnight Cowboy, Molly Hirsch in Where It's At, Eve Clayton in Airport 77, Bianca in Supergirl, and also played the main role of Sarah Yarnell in the 1977 series Sarah. Little Susie, voiced by Mae Whitman. She has also lent her voice in many other animated series such as Katara and Avatar: The Last Airbender, Rose Hunts Hunts Girl on American Dragon, Jake Long, Tinkerbell in the CGI movie series, which ran from 2000. That's a long time. 2008 till 2015. That's a lot of Tinkerbell, folks. Cassie Sandsmark and Wonder Girl and Young Justice as April O'Neil, and as April O'Neil in the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series.
Oh crap! I got stuck with it. I got stuck. Carl,
you should have thought this one out.
Already, I'm gonna bang it out.
It's still not
Ready?
too late to trade.
Krizniz-Swix.
What does grammar have to do with getting chicks?
Nothing if you're Sly Stallone.
Krizniz-Swix.
Yeah, we can go with that.
That's the best I'm gonna do, guys.
That's pretty much it.
Voiced by the extremely talented Tom Kenny, most known for lending his voice to the roles of SpongeBob in the series SpongeBob SquarePants, the mayor and narrator on The Powerpuff Girls, Heifer Wolf in Rocko's Modern Life, which me and Tony actually have already reviewed, so go back and check out that episode when you can, the flashback cartoon episode.
Yes, just in case you weren't reminded. Well, now you've been reminded.
Flashback cartoon hour. He also voiced Dog in Cat Dog, Camp Master Lumpus and Slinkman in the series Camp Lazlo, and the Ice King in Adventure Time. Next, we have Pops, who is voiced by Larry Drake. Not much to his credit other than like one-off roles, but Larry did happen to gain some fame from his roles as Robert G. Durant in the movie Darkman, Benny Stolwicz in the 1987 series L.A. Law, and Dr. Atwood in the 1998 series Prey. And Tony, you get the man of the hour.
Oh, we have Johnny Bravo, voiced by Jeff Bennett. Jeff has also voiced such characters as Brooklyn in Gargoyles, Raj in Camp Lazlo, Dexter's dad in Dexter's Laboratory, Petrie in The Land Before Time series from the second film onward, Clay Bailey in Xiaolin Showdown.
Shaolin Showdown.
Oh, yeah. Shaolin Showdown. Camembert and Biker Mice from Mars.
You never heard of that? It was a very famous like ripoff of the Ninja Turtles. Biker Mice from Mars. Oh, that's definitely gonna be an episode, guys. I think there's 2 separate series too.
Oh.
You're in for it now. We're gonna have to hit all the Ninja Turtle ripoffs, the Street Sharks and Extreme Dinosaurs.
Hold my feet to the fire, said God.
You're in it now. Watch out, Nostalgic Critic.
Oh man, that's a name. And Peppermint Larry and the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack.
So, I know you didn't get to watch a ton of episodes, but did watching the episodes with me like flutter back any memories of when you were a kid?
Yeah. I remember how I I think I've told people this story before on here. My parents wouldn't allow me to have Cartoon Network until the parade had already passed on Johnny Bravo. And, like, we're talking, like, the early 2000s. But he was still around, though, and I caught a few episodes here and there, but I think as a kid it never really clicked with me.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any favorite episodes, but watching it now is such a joy.
It's so good. It's so funny. The humor stands up. It stands up to
it's pretty ahead of its time.
It's
too.
wicked ahead of its time. On a letter scale from F to A+, what would you give from what you've seen?
I mean, just for 3 episodes, that's like really hard. But I don't know. Why don't you go first?
I'm partial. I was, like I said, growing up,
In fact, tell us a little more about yourself.
I was always a heavy Cartoon Network kid growing up. I watched the original Toonami lineup, and I caught Johnny Bravo. My dad loves this show. My dad was obsessed with, it was so funny, the weird cartoons, my dad would just randomly, my dad loved Johnny Bravo and SpongeBob. He thought both these shows were absolute top tier hilarious. So we'd always watch them together and stuff. That was a lot of fun, and I just love Johnny Bravo. I love the way that he acts. Low key, he's my spirit animal, and that's I used him in my courting of my wife Kelsey.
And he loves him so much he smacks his ass and says "good game" after.
You damn darn tootin', damn right darn tootin'. So on a letter scale from F to A+, I would give this show a solid A.
That was a very short drum roll.
Or
a motorboat.
Yeah, guys, he's motorboating me. Sorry.
Whoa,
Tony, not right here. Come on.
Whoa.
But yeah, I would give the show a solid A. No, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going A+. There's really nothing holding this back from being an A+ for me. Rewatching these episodes, I was hysterically laughing. Because like Tony said, it's randomly super ahead of its time, the way that there's this one episode, and I'm gonna go into some of the episodes that I recommend, but I'll talk about this episode in a little bit, where this guy is talking to Johnny and teaching him how to be able to talk to women, kind of in the style of Schoolhouse Rock. He basically keeps telling Johnny to be in touch with his feminine side, so Johnny took that as to go put on a dress and put lipstick on and then go hit on the woman, and she hysterically laughs at him. But it was don't be afraid to do it, okay? Go put on that dress. Go put on that lipstick. Yeah. This brings back a lot of good memories for me. Early 90s, I remember being in the basement, watching Johnny Bravo, watching Dexter's Lab, because I just caught Cartoon Network, where I was old enough to remember when they were just playing a lot of Hanna-Barbera, in fact, who Barbera helped produce this series. It was a lot of Thundercats or the Smurfs would play. And then when these shows started coming out, with the series What a Cartoon, which ends up becoming Cartoon, and that's the one where it's like as the opening credits would roll, it would show like almost like a roller coaster through the checkered wiggly line, and it would go dun 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 cartoon, and like one of the characters would pop out and go cartoon. So I caught Johnny Bravo on that. And then I watched all those shows branch off. And then I watched, Dexter's Lab became its own series. Johnny Bravo became its own series. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy became its own series. But at first it was Grim and Evil. Evil Kung Carney got his own series. It was just a cool thing to watch. And, all like back in the style of that hand-drawn animation where like, when people our age now look at it, well, all we feel is just like the nostalgia just from the style of the art in and of itself.
Yeah. I remember watching a lot of Dexter's Lab as a kid, for sure.
Was that like your little, was that your little dirty secret? Was like you'd sneak Dexter's Lab when mom wasn't looking?
I used to tell my parents that.
It's porn. Definitely, I'm just watching porn. It's definitely not Cartoon Network, I promise.
I don't know what kind of childhood you had, but I never had Channel 69.
Actually, you know what's funny is I think...
Well, hold on. Before you go off on that,
okay.
I just wanted to say that I used to tell my parents that I had a laboratory in my closet. It would freak them out. They thought I was crazy.
Honey, he's doing it again. Call the doctor.
Martha.
Anthony. I swear, Mom, it's my laboratory. Get out of it.
Dad, stop peeking.
Instead of Dee Dee, you're Vicky. I used to not be able to watch like the most random shit too. Like my dad wasn't a fan of Full House, so he didn't want us to watch Full House for some fucking reason.
I don't blame him. Sorry, I just had to get pulled.
And another thing was like he didn't like us watching the Power Rangers, but he would let us watch like the show called Big Bad Beetleborgs, which was literally the same fucking thing. Like the same thing. There's like the super like Japanese hentai. Like no, it wasn't hentai. No, sentai.
Hey man, you hear that?
The heart wants what the heart wants. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So going back to the whole porn and Cartoon Network thing, before Cartoon Network became channel, I want to say it was channel 62 or channel 60 or something like that.
Channel 69.
It wasn't channel 69. It used to be channel. It was like either 71 or 72.
It was like 72 or something.
It was 72, but the channel
AT&T.
But the channel that was one up before it, like 73,
channel.
but it would like be all staticky. But if you watched it long, every once in a while, a boob would pop up, and you'd be like,
back in our day, we didn't know whether we had it better waiting for dial-up porn or watching that static and waiting for the tip.
But getting back to Johnny Bravo, how do you feel that sometimes people bring up that like this should have been one of the quote unquote canceled series because they felt it's kind of like that what happened to Pepe Le Pew? Did you hear about that?
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah, did you hear about what happened to Pepe Le Pew in the Looney Tunes? How people felt like he's like too rapey, and so they wanted I think they actually cut him out. I don't think he's.
I'm sure they have. Yeah.
Yeah. So
they'll cut anyone out.
People were like upset about Johnny Bravo because they were like, he's too like forward, he's too like this, and that's the point. The whole point was like, don't be Johnny Bravo.
So how many seasons are there's like 4 seasons?
Yes.
So, If you ever wanted a concrete answer about how the studios feel about this show, look no further than being only able to stream the first season through Amazon. Just the first season.
Oh, not even Amazon. I had to go on YouTube and buy the season on YouTube.
through YouTube because at least YouTube cares.
Yeah, usually I like to tell you guys where you can go find the whole series, but for some reason, HBO Max doesn't have some kind of rights to
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
to like distribution, so they don't have it on the Cartoon Network or Adult Swim part of HBO, which is now called Max. But yeah, like I was
They
looking,
might have it on DVD or something.
I'm assuming, yeah, there's definitely been numerous DVDs. But if you're looking for anything, you want a quick fix, go on YouTube. You can find a bunch of skits or segments from it. But I mean, I spent $20 and bought the whole first season, so worth it, guys. It was worth it. I was hysterically laughing last night. There's just so many different things. There's which is actually what I want to go into right now. I want to recommend a couple of episodes for you guys. Let me just pull out my handy-dandy notebook.
Well, while he's doing that, just going on the subject of the whole Pepe Le Pew thing. So that was a question.
Yeah. So I was like equating it to Johnny Bravo with how they wanted to cancel him for being as creepy as Pepe Le Pew.
Well, you see, it's like the thing is in my opinion anyway, I mean, like, people just...
That's the best thing about the podcast. It's our opinion.
Whoa, yeah. It's a free country, baby.
Power to the
At this
people.
moment. Who knows? We could have a Handmaid's Tale bullshit happen. Nah, I'm just kidding. That'll never happen. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, like... just watching the content, it's not completely obscene. It's not, horrible. It's not like somebody drew the literal definition of a rapey character. Like, I think the character is really just it. He's an Elvis type knockoff. He's a macho, as Nick wrote, a macho narcissist, not like the scrupulous owner of Friendly Pops.
Yeah, you like my vocabulary?
I mean, that one really.
Wikipedia.
I mean,
Wikipedia, IMDb, different websites.
Well, thanks, internet.
Me am smart.
But yeah. So like the whole, I mean, it's just like a Elvis type knockoff character who's headstrong and wants to chase chicks. I mean, that's basically kind of the basis of a lot of life back from that era. I mean,
is there anything really wrong with it?
And then it's just there's always I see, in the few episodes that I've watched, there's a lesson. And there are even times where Johnny knows his own limits, where he doesn't, like, he knows when to stop, accept the signs, and move on.
Yeah, he actually has a really big heart. And they show it a few times in different episodes. Like, I remember there's one episode where little Susie is trying to get Johnny to go to a dance at her school. And there's like this little nerdy boy that like wants to ask Susie out, but she like completely ignores him, and she like just wants somebody else to bring her to the dance. She doesn't want the nerdy kid. And Johnny Bravo was standing right there and watched the whole thing happen, watched this kid just get like rejected. And then, he's standing there, he's like, "Hey little boy, hey kid, you want to learn how to be just like me? You want to learn how to get that chick to go with you to the dance? Pretty mama." And like, out of it's like, he's all weird about it, but like he actually like he saw this kid's heart like get crushed and was like, "Aw."
Which is a great point. He's all weird about it, as in it's a cartoon. So, for anybody to pull any real solid argument out of a cartoon as a basis for a situation where the cartoon should be banned because it promotes rape culture per se. It's I think there's
it's a stretch, man, and I'm not going for it.
Yeah, you gotta look really.
You just gotta let cartoons be cartoons. It's one thing like when it's like old Mr. Magoo that has like Charlie O Chop Chop or something like that, like blatantly racist or bad in it. It's like, it's another thing entirely when you try going in and digging for a problem.
So, it's like one of those things where, you'll hear it, and it's up to you, the consumer or the whatever, to decide whether you want to allow that in your life or not. Buy the DVD. Don't wait for streaming services to figure it out. In fact, take it a step further or backwards. Get a VCR off of eBay and then get like a bulk sale of random Johnny Bravo tapes and just pop that in and relish in the garbage pile you just created in your entertainment
Make
center.
your room an entire 90s replica. Just sit down on the floor and with a bowl of cereal, watch some Johnny Bravo.
With a tinfoil hat.
Do you, Tony, think that if this show came out today, it would be canceled? Because I really don't think so, because... I mean, it's not even like gross out humor, which was like the 90s like staple, right? The humor, this show was meant for like teenage to young adults, but it's really not that bad.
Well, I don't think companies really care about gross out humor as much as they care about the quote unquote morals and ethics of a character.
Yeah.
The actions in which a character takes upon certain demographics or whatever, and like people, and people or things or whatever, and for Johnny Bravo to exist today, I'm sure it could happen. It's totally possible. I would just hate for them to smear their modern touches on it. That's just my opinion, because that's the only way it would fly, and it is what it is. I'm sure it could be done.
Ironically enough, apparently I want to say it was like back in 2002, there was supposed to be a live action movie, and none other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was slated to play the titular character of Johnny Bravo, which if you put like a blonde wig on The Rock, I mean, he's basically Johnny Bravo.
Different person.
He's basically Johnny Bravo. He even does the eyebrow lift. I wonder if that's the Elvis, but yeah.
The Elvis. I can do the Elvis.
Hee-haw-hoo.
Oh, mama.
I used to try and style my hair just like Johnny Bravo. I never understood the pompadour.
For sure it wasn't Billy Idol.
I definitely did Billy Idol too. You remember that?
I mean, that was a trip. I had to put on sunglasses just to walk into a room.
And I'll be dancing with myself, and I'll be dancing with myself, and watching Johnny Bravo. Why don't I go over some episodes that I really think you guys should check out? I'll try and stick to the first season because that's what I was given. But we'll start off with IMDb's most, what's the word I'm looking for?
Highly rated and regarded.
Thank you very much, Tone. That would be the third episode of season 1, called The Sensitive Male / Bravo Doobie Doo, released on July 21st, 1997. I had actually talked about the first segment earlier, a little bit earlier, where I was talking about how the guy was doing the whole Schoolhouse Rock thing.
Sensitivity, the base word, sensitive. Sensitive. Now, that's an adjective. Adjective. ITY is a suffix they found to tack on the end and make it a noun. And that turns sensitive to sensitivity. 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 Sensitivity.
How he was Johnny didn't understand why he kept failing with women, and then this short weird balding dude was getting dates left and right. why he was getting dates left and right, and so he's like, "Hey man, can you help?"
Would you go out with me?
Oh, aren't you sweet? Of course I will. Here's my phone number.
Wait a sec. That ain't possible. How'd you do that, mister?
Do what?
Get that little chick's phone number. She wouldn't give it to me, and look at me. Oh.
Well, sir, women like a man with depth. When I speak to a girl, I always express my true feelings in a sensitive way.
What?
Beg your pardon?
What was that word?
Sensitive.
And like, you know, this guy starts singing every like which way. Everything was like setting him up. Like,
Oh, and then there's a great twist at the end.
tell him what the twist is, honestly, because I fucking.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. So he's like, oh, so this is where I personally, so we literally just watched these episodes like a half hour ago.
Yeah,
or so,
yeah, just about.
Because I've barely watched the show, but it's great because this short bald dude who seems so great with women, he's singing about respecting women and all this jazz.
You know, he gets 3 girls to agree to 3 different dates with them.
Help save a girl's puppy and does something else at somewhere, and it's just great because it's all positive crap, and it really, you know, about supporting women, and it made me.
What a twist!
It made me think, you know. It made me think, you know, wow, this show is really ahead of its time. Go woman, you know, like why not? Hey, listen, I love women, and I don't need to tell you that, but I do, because you know what? We should embrace them. And then what's great is after those 3 positive messages, the guy goes. So Johnny goes, oh man, you know, I've been trying this whole time when I can't get a girl. And this guy goes, well, you want to know what the real secret is, Johnny? You gotta fake it in order to make it. And
he's been fucking lying the entire time.
And it's like, what the fuck? Like, you know, and then.
It ain't for me, mister. Maybe you can stand to be sweet and sensitive all the time, but that's not my style.
Well, you know, Johnny, you've got to act polite, thoughtful, and considerate. But no one ever said you gotta mean it. Heck, I'd tell a girl I could turn lead into gold if it'd get her to date me. I'd just be sure to say it in a sincere, sensitive way. Tell her what you know she'll really wanna hear. Just be sure you tell her in a way sincere. Say it with the candor of a mouseketeer. Keep your eyes on her face. That's the proper hemisphere.
Come again?
The easiest way to a woman's heart is sincerity. If you can fake that, you've got it made.
My favorite is that he went up to Johnny, and Johnny was like, oh, this woman that just threw a quarter in the wishing well, she's a hot mama, and I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna show her my pecs. And he's like, no, you shouldn't call her hot mama. Like, I forget how the song goes, but like, you know, he goes on this whole spiel about how he should call, like, you know, women by a respectable name, and you should get to learn them, and this whole thing. And he does it 3 separate times, 3 different songs about how much you should respect women, love women, treat them well, and they'll treat you well back, if you know what I mean. I think even one of the lines is like, it gets them out of your dream and into your car. And then, like, his final song is basically him going, just kidding. I lied the whole time.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Fake the sensitivity. And he, like, goes off and he's, like, skipping. And then fucking kind of shady on Johnny Bravo on this part. But he's like, hey, and then he looks behind Johnny, and all of a sudden, all 3 of the women step out, and they're like, really? You lying piece of shit. Get him, girls. And they fucking tackle him and, like, hog tie him to a rope.
They put him on a stick, and they're going to roast him.
They're like, let's go make a wish. And I'm pretty sure, like, are they going to drown him? He didn't do that then. He wasn't that bad. He just fucking pretended to be sensitive, which don't we all do, men? Men, don't we all pretend?
You're not going to get a bite on that.
Almost had you. So, yeah.
If you thought this was a church confessional, press 1.
And then the second segment of that, the Bravo Doobie-Doo is a crossover with Scooby-Doo, which we had actually, talked about a little bit earlier with that fun fact about all the voice actors. But this was a great segment. Johnny Bravo just mixes so well for no reason with the Scooby Gang.
It's true.
He's horny for Daphne. Daphne's horny for Fred. Velma's horny for Johnny. And I'm pretty sure Scooby and Shaggy are horny for the giant sandwich. You thought I was going to say each other, but I did a little switcheroo.
Yeah, I was biting my nail on that one.
Where you going with this, Nick? Where you going with this? But yeah, the fun fact, actually, at one point, Johnny and Velma both get their glasses knocked off. And they accidentally switch glasses when they put them on, and is the only time you see Johnny Bravo's eyes, and they're like dark, little, soulless.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
No, but you know what was funny though was that one of my favorite parts of that Scooby-Doo segment is when Daphne's like, me and Velma are gonna go upstairs and we'll go search this part, and you guys go downstairs, and Fred walks up and he's like, Daphne,
Like,
Scooby, you and Fred check upstairs. Velma and I'll look in the basement.
Daphne?
I mean, Scooby, you and Velma check upstairs, and Fred and I'll look in the basement.
Right. Okay, gang. Let's go.
no, he gives her a funny look.
he like rolls his eyes and he like does a little like smile, and Daphne like quickly is like, you know what, never mind, I'm gonna go with Fred down in the basement and you guys go check out over there. And honestly, they're away for a while.
I mean, to be fair, too, the basement's a perfect choice because you won't hear any shaking from down under.
I should give you the premise of the episode. So Johnny's car breaks down and Scooby and the gang pick him up. Johnny is on his way to his aunt. Do you remember what her name was, Tony? Aunt
Judah Bizzle or
Jetta.
something? Weird name. Of some Presley Elvis lineage.
Yeah. And
It's like the name of one of his favorite sandwiches.
Yeah, I forget what it is, but I keep wanting to go Jedediah. That's definitely not what it was.
It's like Jetta Bizzle or something.
So he's going to visit his aunt. His aunt, when Scooby and the gang drop him off, his aunt is missing. So obviously, Scooby and the gang are on that shit. It's another mystery on their hands. That's when Fred was like, "Hey, gang, let's split up." And actually, dude, there's so many funny parts. One of them is when Scooby's like flat out talking to everyone, and Johnny just looks at Velma and is like, "Hey, can you actually understand what the dog's saying?" And Velma's like, "Yeah, we all can." Funny enough, in a few episodes later, there's an episode where Johnny has to take over for Santa. Because I think it's that classic, like he broke Santa's leg or something like that. And so Johnny has to, deliver all the gifts to the good little boys and girls. And he delivers to Scooby like a pass to speech therapy.
And Scooby Dooby Doo didn't get Scooby snacks. Santa's gift was more useful.
Speech therapy? Right. Scooby-Doo!
To a speech therapist. He's like, "Wow, thank you." Fucking funny, dude. So yeah, I forget what the villain of the Scooby-Doo crossover is called. The Gardener, or something like that. Does the classic chase them all around. The little 60s rock band does a little song to go along with the chase. They do the whole numerous different doors in and out, this way, that way. This one's holding that one's holding this one's chasing that one, now that one's chasing this one. Very classic Scooby-Doo trope. as per usual, something, insane happens. And actually, when they're going down the stairs, the fucking gardener pulls out that weed whacking thing, dude.
Yeah, he
and
was gonna murder.
He was gonna
them.
straight up murder everyone there. And then Johnny somehow created some kind of a ruckus where the chandelier falls on the gardener, and they do the classic Scooby-Doo unmasking. And the first one they do is Professor Hyde White, which is the villain in he was in the episode which me and Tony actually reviewed in one of our earliest episodes, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Check that out. But that was funny that they said that. Then they said Harry the Hypnotist, who plays the clown, and then they realized there was yet another mask. They pull that mask off, and then they realize it's Bigfoot. They pull that mask off, and it's fucking Don Knotts. Don Knotts. And do the whoo. They pull that mask off, and then it's Joseph Barbera. And they're like, Joseph Barbera. And Johnny Bravo looks at the screen and goes, who's that? Which is ironic enough because he's actually one of the executive producers on the series and helped make this happen.
Yeah, 100%. And then what's fun? So then it turns out to be.
Yeah, tell them about the unmask. Oh,
well,
yeah. So
no,
the final unmasking.
Away, but
we do spoilers. If you don't want to spoil, we don't have to spoil. We usually spoil.
Well, fine then. You know what? Fucking, it's
a spoiler alert, everyone.
It's the ant. And it's the Aunt Jetta Booyah, and it turns out that she hates Johnny. She tells him straight to his face, and then the mystery gang is like, "Oh, we're really sorry about this
because they hate him too."
Is there anything we can do to help?
Holy Aunt Jebediah, it was you all along. But why?
I was trying to scare you away, Johnny. Because, quite frankly, I just don't like you.
What do you mean, Auntie?
You are an embarrassment to the family name.
Does that mean I can't come visit anymore?
Oh, I was almost rid of him. And I would have done it, too, if it hadn't been for you meddling kids.
Gosh, Aunt Jebediah, we're sorry.
And so they get in the van and tie Johnny to a tree stump. And then Speed Buggy, sorry, pops out of nowhere and goes, "Hey, I'll give you a ride," while Johnny's tied. And then what's ironic about this whole thing, and I don't know, it just must be great cartoon logic because the mystery van continues to drive with the person who almost murdered all of them with a weed whacker.
Oh, and she's horny for Shaggy. She wants Shaggy right at the end. when the mystery machine is rocking, you know who's a knocking. Like zoinks.
Yeah. Like I just found.
But the best part is, dude, is like we were saying. So they're in the wheelbarrow and they're going down the stairs, and like most of the mystery gang's in there, and the fucking gardener pulls out a weed whack and he's about to kill them all. And it's really Aunt Fuckface, and she's about to kill these kids just because she hates Johnny Bravo and she doesn't want her nephew there. She literally rips into him so bad too, because he's like, Auntie, what are you doing? And she's like, no one likes you. We all fucking hate you. You're a disappointment to the entire. She literally calls him a disappointment to the entire family. And all he can hear is, does that mean you don't want me to come over here anymore?
Poor guy.
Oh, good times, dude. There's another episode where, let me see. Oh, episode 6 of season 1, Blarney Buddies and Over the Hump, and Johnny Meets Farrah Fawcett. The Johnny Meets Farrah Fawcett one's great because, again, little Susie is like trying so hard to get Johnny to come to her birthday party, and like keeps asking, writing letters, calling him, will you come, and fucking this is a little weird. Johnny does pick up the phone and says, no, why don't you call me back in 15 years when you're co-ed?
Hello.
Hi, Johnny. This is little Susie from next door. Will you come to my birthday party today?
I am busy. Call me in 15 years when you're a co-ed.
Please, it'll be fun.
No.
Who the fuck's fucking? Oh man! But so then he finds out that Farrah Fawcett is actually Susie's like second cousin or something like that. So now he wants everything to do to get into the party just so he can hit on Farrah Fawcett. And he loves her hair products too. This man is so funny. He's so horny. Eventually, you almost feel bad. You'll want him to like score at least one girl once. And the closest he ever gets is there's an episode where he meets a woman off of the internet, which was brand new at the time. And he meets her on like some kind of like speed dating app, or not app, you know what I mean, website. And it turns out that she's an antelope, like the actual creature.
What are you staring at, Johnny?
Nothing.
You know, don't you? They always know!
Oh, now, look here, ma'am. I don't care if you're an antelope.
You don't?
Nah, come on, let's go get us some chow.
You are such a gentleman.
And, you know, Johnny, the poor boy's so horny, he goes along with it. Treats her right. They go out to eat. Like, the fact that she's not even the same species as Johnny doesn't bother him at all. You know, he's like calling her honey and like taking her out. And then she come to find out that she's only there to make her ex-boyfriend jealous.
Oh my God.
And so when Johnny finds out, he's heartbroken, and he goes like, well, who's your ex-boyfriend? Is it like a moose or something that I should be like worried about? Now, what you don't know is Johnny had just ordered a lobster on the menu. Lo and behold, when they drop the lobster off on the table, the lobster is the ex-boyfriend. And he's like,
better be nervous. If I catch you messing around with my Carol, I'll pinch your trachea shut.
Oh, Nat, you're just impossible.
you better watch out. You better not go near my girl. I'll fucking pinch you. I'll do it. You better watch out. And like, they go at it, dude. And the whole thing ends up with like Johnny and the crab, lobster, whatever it was, end up being in jail together. And the crab like goes like right up to the bottom bunk. He's like, this is my bottom bunk. You come near it if you want to die. I'll play the clip. It's so funny, dude.
You know, there's a lesson here. Four-legged chicks are nothing but trouble.
That bottom one's mine. Go near it and die.
Don't you make me step on you, man.
Good times. Good episode. A+ for me. Any closing thoughts on this, Tone?
I think you asked me for a grade,
Yes, please.
and now I'm ready to give a grade.
You grade it.
An A, on the basis of it's a pretty creative premise,
Mm-hmm.
and it's done really well. And there were a lot of different animation directors who got their starts.
Yeah. Yep.
In Johnny Bravo that went on to do other things.
Yeah. No Family Guy without Johnny Bravo. No American Dad without Johnny Bravo. No Fairly Odd Parents or Danny Phantom without Johnny Bravo. Like this gave them all that start they needed. And fucking great job. It just shows. Like the writing, like we said, and the directing of each episode is just so brilliant and on point.
Yeah, and the fact that it shares a lot of that Hanna-Barbera heritage
Mm-hmm.
is a huge that's why I like it. Yeah,
I'm
And
pretty
why I
sure
think it's
that
worth an A.
Adam West might be the mayor in this show too.
Oh, that's funny.
And I think it like takes over into Family Guy from that. And I know Donny Osmond becomes a reoccurring character who annoys the shit out of Johnny, but always wants to hang out with him anyways.
Who, Osmond?
Donny Osmond.
Oh yeah, that is one of the weird little blips I do remember from a long time.
Yeah, he would always just like show up and be like all like super uppity and like, you know what I mean? Like he'd be on it. Yeah, in a good mood. And Johnny would be like, all right, man, yeah, I'm going to need you to leave me alone.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's pretty good and it's worth a watch, and you know, it's just part of such a great era in cartoon animation. A little bit of a quick one, but really fantastic.
Yeah,
Truly.
and maybe the fact that it is so hard to find makes it a little bit more special. So when that you can find the episodes, you know what you really have in front of you, because these are just so funny. I can't get enough. I'm definitely going to keep watching more. I fucking bought the full first season on YouTube. Worth it for you guys.
Yeah, and he's going to start naturally talking like him too. It's going to be great.
Hey there, pretty mama. There are a couple of more episodes. Another cool thing is like he ends up forming a rivalry with Santa in the first season, and then they actually like bring it up, and like at the end of the Christmas episode in the first season, Santa gives Johnny boxing gloves, and he's like, "Get ready, because I'm coming back next year, and you're not gonna knock me out this time." Because I'm pretty sure what happened is like Johnny punched out Santa and like hurt him really bad, so that's why he had to, you know, do the classic like I'm gonna take over for the night. And so Santa was like thankful, but then wanted, you know, gave him the boxing gloves. The next year, I'm pretty sure Johnny goes to Santa, and then they have like round 2, and there's like a hatred. Santa hates Johnny Bravo. I'm so happy that we finally got a Cartoon Network episode under our belts, an original Cartoon Network episode, because like, you know, like I said, we did Flintstones, we did Scooby-Doo, but those were before they were shown on Cartoon Network, but they weren't original Cartoon Network series. This was a really cool one. I'm really glad you guys voted. We're gonna have to keep up the polls on the Facebook, because you guys seem to be really big fans of that. We got some more cool episodes coming out in the future. Thanks for being so patient with us. You know, we live normal lives while we also try and record and research. We try and keep it to about a month per episode. You know what I mean? Try and keep it there for you guys. If I can, I'll do 2 per month. Other than that, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And remember the 3 golden rules. Fight pollution. Save the planet.
And a saying always tinkles before he sprinkles.
Who are you supposed to be?
Yeah, I remember watching a lot of Dexter's Lab as a kid, for sure.
Was that like your little, like, was that your little dirty secret? It was like you'd sneak Dexter's Lab when
I
mom
used to
wasn't
tell
looking?
my parents that.
It's porn.
No.